Hi, I'm Dawn, and this is where Shabby meets Bling. Fall has arrived. That means I'm going to be doing fall projects tonight.
This is Everything Crafting. I would like to thank our hosts for tonight, Katie from Lady Red Crafting and Lisa from Our Gray House. You're going to find the links to their channels and this playlist in my description box below. So, while thrifting, I picked up this cool little jar. Isn't it cool? I think it's supposed to be a vase. I got it at my favorite resale shop for $2, but there's a tag underneath it. So I think it was either probably at another resale shop prior or maybe a garage sale. I can't take it. My curiosity is overwhelming. It was $3 somewhere else. I got it for $2, so happy me. Well, I don't want to use this as a vase. I want to use it as a jar with a lid, because if you look at this thing, you look at the ribs on it, this looks like a pumpkin. So how perfect for fall. Instead of putting this lid from a peanut butter jar into the recycle bin, I decided it was nearly the perfect size to be the base for my lid for my pumpkin jar. I'll be using this weather stripping to make it fit nice and snug. The back of the weather stripping already has adhesive on it, but it's not sticky enough to hold. So I will be running a bead of 3-in-1 glue all the way around the perimeter of the inside of this lid. Then I take that weather stripping and run it around the inside where I just applied the glue, pressing it firmly as I go. I cut the weather stripping where the two pieces meet, and then I press them together and then remove that protective tape from the inside. I press until I'm sure it is in there nice and snug, and even try it on my jar. I want to put a handle on my lid, so why not use a real pumpkin stem? It is the appropriate size, and I think it'll look super cute. So I need this thing to lay flat on my lid, and at this point it won't. So I'm just taking my coping saw and I'm giving it a little shave, and it doesn't take much to get it so that it'll sit nice and flat on my lid. I'm going to attach the stem with a screw and wood glue. Since I don't want to split the lid, nor do I want to split my cute little pumpkin stem, I'm going to drill holes first. I will drill a hole right through the lid, and I will drill a pilot hole up through my pumpkin stem. Then I get the screw started through the bottom of my lid, and then I'm going to add some Gorilla Glue. I add the glue to the tip of the screw and up through the bottom of the stem. Then I will screw the stem in place. I really don't like the perimeter edge of my little lid, so I'm going to add some decorative metal on the outside. Now you can see I have a whole bucket and it's a little bucket, okay? I justify myself. It's a little bucket of metal pretties. I am going to use that one. This is the one I'm going to use, even though I have a plethora of different types. This one will fit almost perfect, and it's so incredibly pretty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run it around the exterior, and I will cut it with my tin snips where it meets so it fits on there just perfect with just a teeny tiny little bit of overlap. Now for some more Gorilla Glue, I'm just going to start on the front. I'm going to put a glob of glue on the front, and I'm going to take my metal and I am going to put the center of it right where that glob of glue is, because I want the seam where these two pieces of metal meet to be in the back, so you can't see them. I already predetermined which side of the little stem I thought was prettiest, so I determined this is my front. That's where I will start my ribbon. I've got the glob of glue, ribbon in place, and I'm going to clamp just this one spot and let it set up for a while before I glue the rest of the ribbon in place. I have given that first glob of glue a little bit of time to get tacky, and I've also added a much stronger clamp to hold that first little spot. Now I'm going to take my Gorilla Glue and go around the rest of the perimeter of my lid, and I will clamp it all into place. I'm using a total of I think 6 clamps here to make this happen, because I want every bit of it to remain in contact, every bit of that ribbon to remain in contact with the lid while this cures. So this is what my lid looked like clamped as it was drying, and it's dried for quite some time. I am only concerned really with where the 2 pieces of metal meet together. Everything else seems to be really, really firm. Now, when I get to the point where the 2 pieces come together, then we'll see what we have to do next. As I remove that clamp from where the 2 pieces meet, you can see it has not totally adhered to the lid. So I'm going to have to add some more Gorilla Glue. I will use 2 of the smaller clamps on either side of the joint, and after I glue, I will add the stronger clamp on the joint. I add a couple more clamps to act as legs, and then I'm going to fill in the gap in between that metal ribbon and the lid with some lightweight spackling. Then we'll set it aside and let it dry. But while it's drying, I have something special I'd like to share with all of you. You may remember some months ago, I picked up a Teddy Blake New York leather handbag. I chose the Kim Stampo 14-inch in blue jean. Since that time, I carry my Teddy Blake everywhere. These bags are constructed of premium Italian leather, and after all this time of continuous use, it still looks, feels, and yes, smells wonderful. You can still smell the leather. Teddy Blakes are truly constructed in Italy by experienced craftsmen that work in the same Italian factories where other luxury brands are created. Mine has really taken the wear and tear I have put on it, and the compliments just don't stop. Teddy Blake handbags are for people like you and me, those that desire quality, luxury, great design, and a product that will last, but at a reasonable price. To make that reasonable price even more reasonable, Teddy Blake is having a Labor Day sale where you can save up to 35% off. If you use the code TBDAWN10 at checkout, you'll get an extra 10% off. You can follow Teddy Blake on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Make sure to shop the sale before it's gone. You'll find more details and shopping links in my description box below. I feel my pumpkin jar lid needs a leaf or 2, so I am going to take some of my old templates that I made for this project. I'll leave the link in the description box, and I am going to reuse them. I keep all my templates, all my patterns, I keep them because you just never know. You never know when you're going to need them again. So I am taking 4 different sizes, and I am going to trace them onto packing cardboard. This cardboard isn't from a cereal box or whatever. It is brown on both sides, which makes it easier when you're going to paint. And we are going to paint these. So I trace out one of my leaves, and now I'm just freehanding where I think little veins would be. And you don't have to be precise. It really isn't that big of a deal if it just kind of looks like a leaf. Once I finish drawing in the veins, I come back with one of my sculpting tools, and this is a ball tool, and it is one of the larger ones, and I am just following the lines, burnishing in the veins right down into the cardboard. I press very hard to make that indentation. Once I finish with my first leaf, I create many more in different sizes, the exact same way as I did my first leaf. After all my leaves are complete, I cut them out. Once they're cut out, I am giving them a coat of the Podge. They are getting Mod Podged front and back. This is going to seal the cardboard, and it's also going to add texture, and it's also going to give me a very, very fine crackle, because once we're done with the Mod Podge, while it's a little bit tacky, we're going to spray paint these leaves. And they're going to look like a metal. So it's going to be super cool. But first we have to get them coated with Mod Podge. And once again, they'll get coated front and back. Once all the leaves are coated, I come back with that sculpting tool, with that ball tool, and I am burnishing all my veins again. Since the Mod Podge has soaked into the cardboard, it makes the cardboard a little more pliable. It almost like poofs it up because it has soaked in the Mod Podge. So now I'm getting some really good relief with the veins, just using that sculpting tool one more time, retracing all the veins. Once this step is complete, these leaves head for the spray paint booth. I'm in my basement. It's nighttime and it's chilly outside, so we're heading to the basement. I will be painting the front and the back of my leaves, as well as my lid for my pumpkin jar with these two paints. They are both Rust-Oleum. One is a satin and the other is a flat. The satin is a warm caramel and the flat is just brown. I will spray them simultaneously while both are wet. They will mix and they will give me that metal look I'm after. You may remember when I thrifted this Imperial lawn spreader at my favorite resale shop for $5. Then I took it home and I planted it up for summer. And it was looking ever so lovely, but fall has arrived. So I headed back out, replanted what was in the Imperial spreader, and now it's filled with mums and pumpkins and gourds, all ready for fall. Once my mums and ivy fill out, this is gonna be absolutely gorgeous. I went thrifting at the Goodwill and I picked up this wall hanging with these little drawer pulls. That's what these are, drawer pulls on it. And it was $7.49. Or was it? No, it was yellow tag sale, so it was $3.75. So 5 knobs and a piece of wood. And it is wood, it's not MDF, for $3.75. You do the math. How good a deal is that? Well, I loved these drawer pulls. I love the shape of them. I loved them so much, I went into Hobby Lobby and it just happened to be a sale, 50% off on their pulls. So I picked up these 4 because I love the shape. I mean, look at the shape. Are these not little teeny tiny pumpkins, right? So I'm going to use these to make picks, little pumpkin picks. Step 1 is to remove the drawer pulls from the wood. A couple of them were not so easy to get off. The big one came off real nice, and I am in love with this big drawer pull. I mean, it is simply gorgeous. Gorgeous. I wish the whole thing was filled with these. I love the design. I love the size. I love the shape. I will be keeping all the components that go with the drawer pulls. I just don't need them for this project. What I am going to use is this piece of metal. And I'm not even calling it wire because it is so beefy and I love it. It is going to be the pick and it is also going to become the stem. And I have 2 pieces of this metal, but I need to cut them apart so I can have 4. So I can actually do 4 little pumpkins. I wanted to do them all, and when I come across more of this metal, because I know I have some somewhere in the garage, then I can complete my little pumpkin picks. So I always say my hands aren't as strong as they used to be, but success was had and I was able to cut both of these pieces of metal apart. If that piece of metal is not only going to be the stem, but also the pick, it needs to have a stopping point at the top of my pumpkin. What I'm doing is cutting out small, really irregular circles and I will punch a hole in each and every one, and it is going to go on top of my pumpkin, and my stem will go up through it. I hot glue where I want my stem to end. Then I take the little tiny piece of cardboard and I run it all the way up the bottom of the stem, and I let it sit until it dries. Once that hot glue has dried, I come back with my glue gun and start building up what is going to be my stem. I just layer it and I make it a little bit thicker at the bottom than at the top, like a real pumpkin stem. Once it's complete, I will set it aside in an upright position to cool, to dry, however you want to look at it. Then I repeat the same process for my other 3 pumpkins. Now it's time to paint. I am painting these with a combination of a Waverly chalk paint in the color of truffle and a metallic bronze, just to give it a little depth. And I'm using these 2 colors at the exact same time, blending them together. So all of my stems will be this color. After my paint has dried, I will hot glue these right into my pumpkins. My teeny tiny pumpkins need leaves as well. I found these fall leaves last year at Hobby Lobby on clearance, and I bought 2 bags. Fall stuff's out this year. Do you think they have them this year? No, of course not, because I absolutely love them. I am going to paint these in that truffle as well, and then I will very delicately glue them onto my teeny tiny little drawer full of pumpkins.
My projects are complete. All we need to do now is take a look.
Our glass and metal vase is no longer a vase. It is now a candy jar, and you'll never be able to hang anything on those drawer pulls again. There's our lid. No longer a peanut butter jar lid, but a fancy lid for my vase. No longer a vase, a candy jar. And doesn't it look like metal to coordinate along with the rest of that vase? Those ribs and the lid look like they're the same. And I even added one of my leaves there. I made more leaves because I intend to do other things with them in the future. I even added a little spiral metal vine growing right up out of that pumpkin stem. I'm very pleased with my little pumpkin jar, already full of candy. It won't be for long, I'm telling you, not in this house. And how about those drawer pulls? Here's my cream-colored pumpkin pick, plunked right down in the middle of some gorgeous mums. And it just so happens to coordinate beautifully with that little thrifted pot. The little porcelain pot I picked up at my favorite resale shop for $2. They both are cream and they have a gorgeous crackle finish on them. Look how pretty, just nestled amongst the mums. Here are the 2 black and white pumpkins. I really like how their stems and leaves coordinate so nicely with that metal urn. I love these metal urns. I picked these up a long time ago. My little black pumpkin pick has yet to find a home. Guaranteed while thrifting, I'll be on the lookout for the perfect pot for my little black pumpkin pick. Thanks again to Katie and Lisa for asking me to join them in this everything crafting. You're going to find the links to their channels and this playlist in my description box below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, share it with your family and your friends and anyone that likes DIYs, repurposing, thrifting, flipping, and fall decor. You can follow me on Instagram and don't forget to check out my shop on Etsy. Leave me a comment. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Ring that bell for notifications of all my upcoming videos and subscribe. It's a great way to support my channel. But for now, this is Dawn with Shabby Meets Bling. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.